Imagine floating through space, completely alone, when suddenly reality itself starts bending around you. Stars stretch into glowing lines. Time slows down. Your heartbeat sounds louder than the spacecraft alarms screaming in your ears. And then, a giant hole opens in space. Not a black hole. Something worse. A wormhole. A doorway that could connect two completely different parts of the universe, or destroy you before you even realize what happened. Scientists still don't know exactly what happens inside one. And honestly, that might be the scariest part. If space mysteries fascinate you, and you love terrifying theories that could completely change everything we know about reality, hit that like button, subscribe, and stay till the end. Because today we're diving into one of the most disturbing ideas in the universe. What actually happens inside a wormhole? Picture this. You're an astronaut drifting near Saturn. The mission seems simple. Investigate strange gravitational waves detected deep in space. Nothing unusual. Nothing dangerous. At least, that's what NASA tells the crew. The ship moves slowly through silence. The only sounds are humming engines and quiet breathing inside helmets. Then the instruments begin glitching. One screen shows impossible coordinates. Another shows stars moving backward. And suddenly, the ship detects an object that shouldn't exist. At first, it looks like a dark sphere floating in empty space. But the closer the crew gets, the stranger it becomes. Light bends around it. Stars behind it twist like liquid. Space itself looks folded. One astronaut whispers, "Is that a black hole?" But the commander slowly shakes his head. No, black holes pull things in. This thing feels different. Then the signal arrives. A transmission. From the other side, static fills the cockpit. Then a voice. Weak. Distorted. Human. Do not enter. The room goes silent. Because the voice belongs to Commander Elias Reed, a man who disappeared 23 years ago. The problem? He should now be an old man. But the voice sounds young. Exactly the same age as the day he vanished. One astronaut nervously laughs. That's impossible. But nobody answers. Because deep down, everyone is thinking the same thing. What if wormholes don't just connect places? What if they connect time itself? Scientists believe wormholes could act like tunnels through space-time. Imagine folding a piece of paper. If two distant points touch, you could punch a hole straight through instead of traveling across the entire sheet. That hole would be a wormhole. In theory, it could let you cross billions of light years instantly. But there's a horrifying problem. Nobody knows if a human body could survive the trip. Because near a wormhole, gravity becomes monstrous. Your body wouldn't simply fall. It would stretch, pull, twist. Scientists call this spaghettification. Your feet could feel thousands of years older than your head because time moves differently under extreme gravity. Your atoms might separate. Your bones could rip apart before you even realized you were dying. And yet, some theories suggest something even stranger. That wormholes might preserve consciousness. Meaning your body dies, but your mind keeps going. Imagine that for a second. Imagine entering a tunnel where time no longer works normally. You can't tell if seconds are passing, or millions of years. You try screaming but sound doesn't exist there. You try moving but direction itself loses meaning. Up and down disappear. Past and future blur together. You aren't traveling through space anymore. You're falling through reality itself. Back on the ship, panic spreads through the crew. The wormhole begins pulling them closer. Not violently. Slowly. Almost gently. Like the universe itself is breathing them inward. Warning sirens flash red across the cockpit. One astronaut starts crying quietly. Another grips his seat so hard his knuckles turn white. But Commander Vale can't look away. Because inside the wormhole, he sees something moving. First it looks like light. Then shapes. Then faces. Human faces. Frozen inside the darkness like ghosts trapped beneath ice. Some are screaming. Some look peaceful. Some appear ancient. And one of them looks exactly like him. Older. Broken. Terrified. Suddenly the ship shakes violently. The engines die. Every screen goes black. Then a final message appears. Time destination unknown. The crew realizes the terrifying truth. If they enter that wormhole, they may never return to their own reality again. Because wormholes might not just transport you somewhere else. They could transport you to someone else. Scientists actually believe time travel through wormholes could theoretically be possible. If one end of the wormhole experiences time differently than the other, stepping through could send you into the future. Or the past. Imagine leaving Earth in 2026 and returning when humanity no longer exists. Cities gone. Oceans empty. The sun dying above a silent planet. Or worse, returning before you were ever born. That's where the real horror begins. Because time paradoxes break reality itself. If you went back and changed one tiny thing, would your current life disappear? Would your memories survive? Would you survive? Commander Vale suddenly makes a decision. We're going in. The entire crew stares at him. One astronaut immediately shouts, "Are you insane?" But Vale's eyes remain locked on the wormhole. Because deep inside it, he saw Earth. Not the current Earth. A future Earth. Burning. Storms covering entire continents. Cities underwater. Millions dead. And in that moment he realizes something terrifying. Maybe the message wasn't warning them to stay away. Maybe it was warning them they were too late. The ship moves forward. Slowly. The wormhole expands across every window until it becomes the only thing visible. Darkness. Infinite darkness. Then suddenly, silence. Complete silence. No engine noise. No breathing. No heartbeat. The crew floats weightlessly inside pure black emptiness. But they aren't alone. Shapes move around them. Massive shapes. Too large to understand. Like creatures made from space itself. One passes beside the ship. And every monitor instantly fills with impossible symbols. Another creature opens what looks like an eye. And the entire crew suddenly experiences memories that aren't theirs. Childhoods they never lived. Wars that haven't happened yet. Deaths that feel horrifyingly real. One astronaut begins screaming uncontrollably. Another starts laughing. Commander Vale feels tears rolling down his face without understanding why. Then he finally realizes the truth. The wormhole isn't a tunnel. It's alive. And it's watching them. Every fear, every memory, every regret, sees all of it. The ship suddenly accelerates violently. Stars explode into endless white lines. Reality bends like melting glass. The crew can barely breathe. Then, light, blinding light. The ship crashes onto an unknown planet beneath a dark red sky. The crew stumbles outside in shock. Ruined buildings cover the horizon. Broken satellites lie scattered across dead oceans. And then they see it. A rusted human flag. Half buried in ash. Commander Vale slowly picks it up. His hands shaking. Because printed on the flag is Earth's symbol. They didn't travel across space. They traveled across time. Thousands of years into humanity's future. And humanity is gone. No cities. No voices. No life. Just silence. The crew realizes the final horrifying truth. The wormhole didn't destroy humanity. Humanity created the wormhole trying to escape extinction. And failed. Then the same distorted voice returns through the radios. Commander Elias Reed. Calm now. Almost emotionless. I told you not to enter. Vale whispers. Where are you? A long pause follows. Then the answer comes. Everywhere. Suddenly the sky above them begins twisting again. The wormhole is reopening. But this time, something is coming out. Not light. Not energy. Something alive. Something enormous. The ground shakes beneath their feet. One astronaut drops to his knees crying. Another points at the sky unable to speak. Commander Vale stares upward in horror as a giant shadow slowly emerges from the swirling darkness. And just before the transmission cuts forever, Elias whispers one final sentence. We were never alone. Reflective wrap-up. Maybe wormholes are shortcuts through space. Maybe they're bridges through time. Or maybe they're something humanity was never meant to understand. Because sometimes, the universe hides things for a reason. If this story gave you chills, smash that like button and tell us in the comments. Would you enter a wormhole if you had the chance? And of course, subscribe for more terrifying space mysteries and stories like this.